All this GR Cup action is proudly brought to you by Toyota Gazoo Racing. The magnificent backdrop of Table Mountain sees the first round of Gazoo Racing's GR Cup for 2025, and Toyota are excited about being down in the mother city and bringing to the track at Killarney International Raceway some new drivers, some new media, and a couple of new dealers to come and entertain us on the tracks all around the country, starting here at Killarney International Raceway. The first round of the Extreme Festival makes its way into the Mother City's famous circuit at Killarney, and looking forward to some great action out there, particularly amongst the brand new Toyota Gazoo Racing stable. There are a couple of new drivers, as I mentioned, and there's a couple of new cars out there as well. They're going to be split up, but let's catch up with Alan Bayer and find out exactly what the changes are for 2025.
Well, it's been a long time in coming. I've been around with the technical department for 24 years, and Glenn Crompton, the VP Marketing and Gazoo Racing as such, thought to separate it out as a dedicated unit, focusing on motorsport and the GR brand as such, and that's where I am at the moment. We have 6 new drivers on the Yaris front, all novices, but they're doing a sterling job for us. And then we have the dealers once again, and then we have 7 86s, which are the development drivers for us, which are doing a sterling job as well. The changes for this year, we've changed the media drivers into the Yarises once again, and the dealers that are participating, we're putting into the Corollas. Every year we take Thuli Ropalta, who's running the series for us from a operational logistics point of view, identifies up and coming and worthy drivers that we put into the seats, and then develop them. As part of Gazoo Racing, we believe that we give back as much as we take out. So we give these guys the opportunity to drive, improve their skills, and in so doing so create brand awareness for us, and hopefully see them one day, hopefully in Formula One if we can.
It's a massive presence that Toyota Gazoo Racing has now created as part of the Extreme Festival. Ken Swartz is the only driver who stuck around from last year in the 86s. But there are a couple of brand new drivers looking to impress, Jason Katsia being one of them. Michael Besaid, note the two of them stepping out as single-seaters and into those 86s. Slightly different look and feel, but of course being a rear-wheel drive car, they might have a little bit of a grasp on what to do in these cars. Qualifying is going to be an important factor, and with a couple of brand new drivers to the scene, including a young lady driver, Vatsiawa, who's come along from karting, stepping up into the 86s for the first time too, she'll definitely be in a baptism of fire, particularly when in amongst the Corollas of the usual contenders when it comes to the dealers and our driving academy, and then the Yarises that are going to be piloted by the media this year. Let's have a look and see how qualifying went. Top of the list, Nabil Abdul setting a 1:25 as the time to catch, but Devon Scott right up there with Mario D'Souza in third. Fantastic effort from him, but you can see a big spread there amongst the drivers. Charles Bosch 10 seconds off the pace, but certainly looking to push hard. Let's catch up now with Jason Katsia and find out how his qualifying went.
It's quite a bit different to the single-seater, so you have to almost dial yourself back a bit to not overdrive. But it was a really clean lap. I'm very, very chuffed with it. It's probably one of the best laps I've delivered in my career. So, yeah, super chuffed with it.
From Supersport, fastest of the pack was Nabil Abdul.
I couldn't believe it when they told me 1:25.1. I was like, that's impossible. That's impossible, because the whole weekend, I know the Corollas were quick, Devon was quick. They were running in the 1:26s. We were running in the 1:27, 1:28s. So 1:25 was just an absolute shock. But yeah, I surprised myself as well. So the emotions are high. I just hope I can maintain it. I've never led a grid off, a rolling start. So yeah, it's a lot of first times for everything. First time Killarney, first time on track with racing, first time on pole. It's I hope I can get the first win.
Welcome back to GR Cup race action. Toyota Gazoo Racing about to get onto the Killarney International Raceway for the first time in anger for 2025. Front end of the field, expect a big battle between Jason Gutierrez and Michael Besaidnout, the two single-seater drivers who have stepped up into the 86s for 2025. They are very closely matched by Ken Swartz. And then, of course, they'll be watching for the back of the pack, because just behind them, the media and our dealer team guys will be starting from a bit further back from that. Mario D'Souza, one of the quickest of the media, along with Devin Scott. The two of them going to be fighting hard with Nabil Abdul, who was, as we heard just before the break, quickest of that entire pack of cars. As they come down towards Fostron corner, it's going to be a pack of 86s that lead this battle out. Initially, a little bit of a gap down to the second set of cars, as you can see them coming through their Cape Town corner. But Jason Gutierrez will lead the pack down towards turn number 1 in the 86 Brigade. And let's see if he can get the whole shot. Looks like he's been able to just keep ahead of Michael Besaidnout. Besaidnout being closed down there very quickly by Kanya. Kanya Ngwenya already moving his way up nicely and looking for a way to try and squeeze through. And there is some maneuvering happening up there. You can see just a change up down into turn 2. Here comes the pack of Toyota Corollas and Yaris's. Led out, as we saw there, by the Yaris of Nabil Abdul. Can he outgun the slightly more powerful Corollas into turn 1? Yes, he can. He gets the whole shot down into turn 1, and the Supersport man leads out. Car Magazine round the outside. This is fantastic to see all these drivers in there. Lawrence Mini pushing hard for the Auto Trader team. Watch out as well for the pushing through of Charles Bosch coming from the Citizen. There is a whole bunch of cars that are going to be fighting hard here as they go down in towards turn 2, Castrol corner, and fanning out there in the background. Once again, just a reminder, these cars are stock standard road cars just with roll cages in. So when you see those hazard lights come on, it is the systems that the cars would have in terms of their road conditions, and that ABS system kicks in when they get hard on the brakes. So that's why you'll see those those indicators coming on and the flashlights. Ooh, out of shape, Nabil. Drops down to 4th place as he gets a little bit squirrely there. The first of the Yaris's, remember, even though it looks like a Corolla, that is a slightly different looking machine to the cars just ahead of him and all around him. But there is a big fight on here, and that's exactly what we expected to see amongst the media and the dealer teams. Now remember, with the dealer team cars, like that one there, and the media cars, they are now fighting with slightly different machinery to what we had last year. The Roller Toyota in there, in the mix already, and running a little wide and high out the back end. Andres de Villiers catches it only just, and manages to stay just ahead there of Kyle Koch from Car Magazine. So Koch now all over the back looking for a way through. Can he find it as they go down the main straightaway? Maybe a little bit of slipstream will help him out. Remember, he's got about 20 kilowatts less power, and also no all-wheel drive, so it certainly helped out to have that all-wheel drive available for Andres de Villiers as he got out of shape there onto the dirty stuff. Koch closes him down now. A little bit of dirt on the inside. Somebody touched the wheel on the inside of turn 1 as they now come back down to turn 2 and closing in here for 3rd place. Possible change-up as Nabil comes back at the 222 car of Werner Venter. Venter being put under massive pressure there. Great to see. Let's have a look at that one more time as they go out of turn 5. There you can see the Roller Toyota just getting off the circuit. Kept it buried though, used the all-wheel drive and came back on. And didn't lose a position, fortunately, to the man from Car Magazine. Times Live is out there as well with Putti and Punyana in there and having a fantastic run so far. He's just ahead there of Andres de Villiers, who's now dropped back slightly. Lawrence Mini starting to close things down there from Auto Trader as we watch Vanna under massive pressure here. And it's all from Nabil. Nabil Abdul has found something special in that Yaris of his, and it's working brilliantly as they come out of Cape Town corner to stay with the slightly more powerful machine ahead of him. Devin Scott leads out in terms of the Corollas. He's got a little bit of a margin over 2nd place Mario D'Souza as we go back to the front end of the 86s. And is there a change up? Yes, there is for 3rd. Diving through the 3rd place is Kanya. He's found a way through, and I think that possibly on Brandon van der Nest. So a little chopping and changing between the two of them. And I'm just watching in the background, how close are the next competitors coming along? There they come in the background. So the 86ers have managed to maintain the gap for now, but there's still a lot of work to be done from this point of view. Kanya into 3rd place there. He's got the green wing mirrors and the green livery. The purple ones, that is Michael Besaidnout. As they come through the very fast sorrel sweep, double apex, running wide there is Jason Gutierrez using possibly maybe a single-seater type line out of that corner, which is certainly working well for him. You heard from his interview, he was pretty impressed with the lap he was able to put in for qualifying. One of the cleanest he said ever he's done here at the Killarney International Raceway, and he's done a few laps around this track as the Cape Townian. 2nd place Michael Besaidnout trying to close him down, hasn't quite got the gap sorted out just yet. And he's also having to just watch those rearview mirrors because there is a hard charging Kanya Ngwenya and Kent Swartz coming along for the ride. Kent in the orange car. He is the man, of course, the only man who stuck around from last year. Change of surface flag down into turn 1, so they're going to be a little bit wary as they go in there. Possibly just a little bit of dust or debris being brought onto the track by somebody who might have run off. Didn't see any of the cars running off myself, but there was definitely a change of surface flag there at the start-finish line. Here comes the second pack in there now, in amongst the back end of the 86s. So Mario closing in there on Devon Scott. Devon Scott now putting himself in between Van der Nest, and looks like Jordan Moodley in that little pack as well. So the two youngsters now probably going to be in the best seat in the house. You can't ask for a better man to follow around any circuit than that machine right there of the 21 car of Devon Scott. He is the Toyota Driving Academy's lead instructor, so he'll know exactly how to place that car. And if you're in an 86 or even Mario D'Souza could possibly also learn a few things as well, even though he's had a couple of seasons in this class. He's not a bad man to follow around a circuit to find lines, braking points, etc. So the two youngsters probably in the best seats in the house right now. Mario, not so much. He's the meat in the sandwich between those two younger rookies. But I'm sure he'll find a way through now with the little bit of extra power he's got. 220 versus 180. Should be able to get them with a little bit of slipstream coming out and onto that back straight away. Here he comes, pulls out, and he'll move up. Oh, we got cars sliding out of turn 4. That's damn step. There's certainly a problem there somewhere. Somebody's come off the circuit there completely. It might be Tian Combrink who's stuck there, I think, or possibly Vatsi. Vatsiawa Makunyana, one of our lady drivers, stepped up from karting. She's the only lady driver, of course, involved in this category this year, but fantastic to have her here. And there's certainly problems here as well for Zach 92. Yes, it is. Running high and wide. Jordan Moodley getting it all wrong under braking down into Fostron. And up the inside. Oh, here we go. Van is going to make him pay. Werner Fenter just squeezing through. Checkered flag is out. And it is a fantastic effort there from Jason Gutierrez to win out in terms of the 86 Brigade. But it is Devon Scott who wins out the Corollas, beating Mario D'Souza to the line. Absolutely action-packed race. Everywhere you turn, there was action in this class. And in all three of the classes for Toyota Gazoo Racing. Let's have a look at that one more time as Moodley goes down into Fastron. Gets a little bit out of shape. Remember, that's a rear-wheel drive. You've got to be just a little bit lighter on that pedal. That's why he stepped out. Let's have a look at the results, though. Here we go. Jason Gutierrez, Michael Besaidnote, and Kanya, your top three in the 86s with Ken Swartz behind that. Winning out the Corollas was Devon Scott, and winning out the Media Challenge, a great effort from Nabil Abdul. Let's catch up now with the winner of the Corolla Cup, Devon Scott.
It was an incredible race. From the yellow flag first corner to, I think, 3 abreast, 4 abreast at some stages. It's been an amazing experience, and the Corolla GR really stood up to the test. It really tested me and the car, and fighting with Mario throughout the entire race was a privilege.
And a maiden win for Nabil Abdul.
Unbelievable. I would like to make it a clean sweep. Pole, first win, and Heat 2, second win. But boy, oh boy, was that insane. Sitting with the 3 Corollas, Devon pulled away, and I was stuck with Van and myself, and we were battling for a proper solid 8 laps. Nose to tail. Just didn't have the chuff down the back straight just to pull him, but it was an amazing experience. And I can't wait for round 2.
Great effort from Jason Gutierrez to take his first win in the 86 League. Let's find out how it went.
Obviously, we've done polos before, so it's quite similar, but the rolling start was quite a new thing for me to get used to. But yeah, otherwise, it was a clean race, very calm, chilled, so yeah, super happy with the points. So yeah, hopefully we can carry on for the next race. Let's see.
Welcome back to Killarney International Raceway, and more action now from the GR Cup, courtesy of Toyota Gazoo Racing. Great to see a big amount of fans stepping out here for round 1 of the Extreme Festival. And you can see that they're enjoying every aspect of it, getting up close and personal with their favourite drivers. And there are a couple of favourite drivers that I think some of the Cape Town Massive are going to be shouting loud for, particularly when you see the likes of the win coming from Jason Gutierrez, a local boy. Some selfies before you go? Well, that's definitely one way to do it. I'm sure they're looking forward to the battle again. Has Devon Scott got what it takes to get maybe right to the front end of the field? We'll have to keep an eye on that. He nearly got there at the start. And then we'll keep an eye out on the likes of Rudolf Bonzai and Charles Bosch in their very first time out as part of the Media Challenge. Michael Besaidnote, I think, is definitely looking for a chance to beat his arch rival from the single-seater championship, as they're now both in very similar Toyota 86s. Ken Swartz, the only man who stuck around from last year, he'll definitely be looking for his first victory. And looks like we are ready to go. And race 2 is about to kick off. Lure lets them roll out. Jason Katsia will lead the pack heading down towards turn 1, but he has got a very hard charging Michael Besaidnout alongside him. Watch out for Ken Swartz coming from the back, and keep an eye out on the progress possibly there coming from Kanya Ngwenya, looking to try and get through and up to third place already. Swartz is into the fourth spot as they go through Holzhoek for the first time. Tucked in behind that, watch out for ever improving maneuvers there coming from the likes of Jordan Moodley and Brandon van der Nest. We're on board with Nabil Abdul, fastest of the Yaris's, as they head down towards turn 1 Holzhoek. It is Devin Scott ahead of Mario D'Souza, and it looks like Nabil has got ahead of Vanna. So Vanna Fenter losing out there ever so slightly in the 222 car as they head down towards Cashel for the first time. Hard on the brakes, Nabil. He's very hard on the brakes. Round the outside, the Roller Toyota. Here comes the Times Live man, getting hit a bit sideways as well. I think somebody may have run wide there ever so slightly. Yeah, slightly, I would say. Right off the track, completely there for Vanna. Vanna Fenter got that completely wrong, and he'll have to try and come back now from about 6 or 7 cars back. As you see him just coming back on track there, just out of the left-hand kink. They come out of Dam Stip, and already Devin Scott opening up a massive margin as they get into Sorrel Sweep. Back on board with Nabil, trying to close down here on Mario D'Souza. The Motors Toyota man is certainly in full flight and loving being back in Cape Town. One of his favourite circuits, but certainly having a bit of more trouble coming from behind than he's used to. Speaking of trouble, well, here's 4 of them going very, very troublesome into turn 5. And it's going to be Michael Besaidnout on the inside. Jason Katsia on the outside. That's not where you want to be. Did Jay get good drive, though? No, he didn't. Besaidnout hits the front for the first time now. So that is the first time we see Michael Besaidnout leading a lap in the 86 League. But Jason comes straight back at him using a little bit of slipstream. Oh, watch out! Late braking coming from Ngwenya, and he's looking for a way to dive through. Not quite close enough, though. Very, very tight stuff. Ken Swartz looking to pick up the pieces there. He knows what can go wrong if they get it all out of shape just ahead of him. So he's just holding back slightly, I'd have to say, for now. But as I said, 4 of these cars all evenly matched, and there is nothing in it between those 4 drivers. Just behind that, Moodley and Van der Nest having a fantastic run. This is certainly what we want to be seeing in the 86 League. But we'd like to see those 2 drivers slightly further up. They'll get there through the year. With the planning that Toyota's got for these drivers, especially the youngsters, and the development process they go through, it's not only learning the racecraft, it's learning how to handle themselves off track, what they need to do in terms of the nutrition and training, and everything else that goes around the racing aspect of a driver looking to move up, as you heard, at the front end from the boss man, possibly up even into F1 status at some point in their careers. It's not going to be that guy, though. He unfortunately got it out of shape. Bunsaya coming out there, and yes, looks like one of our Corollas, not where it's supposed to be. Rudolf Bunsaya getting it a little bit out of shape, but fortunately back on track. Speaking of back on track, back to the front possibly here for Jason Katsia. He's got good drive out of 1. He's having to run wide as Michael Besaidnout makes him work hard for that possible win. Can he get up to the lead into the breaking point? He can. He puts the nose in, and he is now going to go side by side with Michael Besaidnout. Besaidnout runs slightly wide out of turn 2, Castro corner, and he's going to have the inside line for turn 3. So he's holding the outside on the kink, knowing that that inside line comes up as they go through the right-hander. And on the brakes, do we have a new leader? Yes, we do. Just by the nose, though. And they are literally wing mirror to wing mirror heading up to Sorrel Sweep. Somebody's going to have to take the outbraking maneuver. They nearly locked wing mirrors there. That's how close they got. The wing mirrors were literally in the background. Someone's gone off wide as well again. So it looks like some people having a lot of trouble coming out of turn number 3. It's not an easy corner to get right. It's off camber, and it is a little dip. That's why it's known as Damp Dip, where the car literally bottoms out as you go through it. Eventually, we've got through. And, well, Michael Besaidnout's not too happy about it. He wants to try and come immediately back. Behind them is Ngwenya looking for a way past 2, if he can find a way to sneak ahead of the 2 hardest protagonists in the field at the moment, fighting for 1 and 2. Now, if we look in the background, I'm also just keeping an eye out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you got 5 and 6. But have a look at who's in 7th place. That's Devin Scott. Devin Scott is closing in on Van der Nest and on Moodley. He's bringing along Mario D'Souza and Nabil Abdul for the ride. We're back on board with Abdul, hugging that inside line, that Porsche wall. Whoa! Oh, it's so awesome to see as you come out of there. You literally get sucked out of that thing and head down towards turn 1. You've got to get hard on the brakes so that you can make the turn. Nabil learning that, and he's learning it pretty quickly as well. Runs wide up onto the curb. That's exactly what you want to do on the exit of holes. And Devin Scott has now moved himself up into 5th place overall. And we've still got a long way to go. And look at Mario D'Souza muscling his way through there in the second of the Corollas. Finds a way past on Van der Nest, gets through on Moodley. Now, can Nabil Abdul do the same thing? Remember, there'll be similar kind of power packages to these two cars, although the Yaris is going to have maybe a little bit of extra squirt on the back straight towards, as opposed to the 286s. But those 286s are fighting so hard, I don't think they realized that the Corollas were coming along, and now they've got a Yaris on their tail. So the lead Yaris is sitting in, ninth place on track overall. Yes, an amazing effort. And they're starting to close things down rapidly on those first 4 cars. Nabil trying to use and get into the slipstream. Can he get there? The slipstream came from Van Ness trying to find a way through on Woodley. The two of them both very late. Look at that. How much later were they on the brakes compared to Nabil Abdul? Seeing the karting skills coming out of these two youngsters. And we've got a change up. Is it going to work? Only just. Here comes the lead pack, and coming through that lead pack is Devon Scott, forcing his way through there for the Gazoo Racing Driving Academy car. He's up to 3rd overall, and there's only a couple of laps to go. There's a possibility he could win this overall, starting so far back behind those 86s. He's managed to catch all of them but 2. And the 2 he hasn't caught are the 2 hardest protagonists. I can tell you right now, Jason Kutsia is not going to give this up without a fight, and neither is Michael Besaidnout. The 2 of them very evenly matched, but here comes Devon. He's bringing Ngwenya along for the ride. Behind that, Ken Swartz sitting still comfortably there in the 4th place for 86s, but 5th place overall now. Here's a move. Devon's got round the outside of Michael Besaidnout. Has he got enough to get down into Damstip and just squeeze him out on the brakes? Yes, he does. Oh, he's going to force his way through. Great driving there, and a little bit of room given there, I think, coming from Michael Besaidnout, realizing that the Foster car was coming. I think Jason Kutsia is going to try and hang on to take the victory, but has he got enough to outgun the additional power that the Corolla's got over the 86? That boxer engine, of course, is now going to have to work double time. Great drive from Kutsia. Coming onto that back straight here, the best drive out of Sorrel Sweep, and that might just give him enough. Devon's in the slipstream. He's pulled out. He's going to have to go around the high side of Cape Town corner. No problem at all. Under braking gets it. Here comes a late dive from Ngwenya to try and squeeze through. Has he been able to make that stick? No, he hasn't. He's gone off. Ngwenya getting it all out of shape there, trying to dive through and follow on what was going to be happening just ahead of him and follow through on Devon Scott's line. Checkered flag is out. Devon has come from the back of the pack, leading that second pack of cars and taking the overall victory. He beats Jason Kutsia to the line, and it looks like Michael Besaidnout has come through there for second. Unfortunately, there is the car having a late dive and now stuck in the kiddie litter. Oh, not what he wanted, that is for sure, but a valiant effort nonetheless there from Kanya. Bit of assistance being given there by the marshals to get him out of the kiddie litter at turn 5 as the rest of the pack come through to wrap up. What a fantastic start to Toyota Gazoo Racing GR Cup for 2025. Let's have a look at those results. Devon Scott takes the Corollas, Jason Kutsia takes the 86s, and Abdul again takes the clean sweep for the Arises. A little bit further back in that one, keep an eye out on the challenge there between our media and our dealer team. There's going to be some good stuff throughout the season. Once again, let's catch up now with Devon Scott after a double victory and a clean sweep as well for him.
Double race win, and to finish it off with a race like that where we got in amongst the 86s, some good clean racing. Great to see the whole GR product together, all on the track together battling. It was really a privilege, and just kudos to the other drivers out there, keeping it nice and clean and giving us space. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you to Glenn, to Alan, to Paulie, to Rian, to absolutely everyone. We appreciate it so much.
He comes from the World of Champions. He certainly looks like he's got a championship possibly in the bag with the clean sweep this weekend.
The clean sweep, pole position, fastest lap, heat 1 win, heat 2 win. It's surreal. Pinch me. Am I dreaming? I don't know. That's true, actually, yeah. So the World of Champions wouldn't expect anything less, I suppose. So yeah, no, it's really proud moment for us and for Toyota, and how the car's performing. Cupcake, as I affectionately called her, she has the ingredients to be a leader. So I'm very chuffed. I was able to keep up with Devon and Mario up front. I think the little Cupcake can give it to them in the next round.
Definite future contender here is Vatswa Makonanya.
Feels very surreal because just a few weeks ago I was at the karting track, literally right there, watching everybody imagining how it would be, and now I'm racing in the track now. It was quite hectic, honestly. We were having some engine problems from qualifying, which carried on to the race, but it was really good to get the experience on the track, learn the car, and just have some fun.
Another clean sweep came from Jason Kutsia for the win in the 86s.
Yeah, I mean, that last race was quite fun. I think it was quite interesting between me and Michael, but yeah, couldn't really have asked for a better day than today. So yeah, let's just keep the momentum going.
The momentum is certainly building, and as you can see, a lot of happy faces out there amongst the media, our usual contenders in the dealers, and the new 86 drivers. But I think the boss man must be pretty happy. Let's catch up with Al.
I think we're extremely pleased. I think it was a brilliant day for the start of the season. We had no issues with the vehicles. We had no racing incidents as such. A few people that missed some of the black stuff, but it was all good. I think most of the guys really enjoyed it. Quite a privilege to sit and race and experience, not only for the GR Cup but for the rest. But I think we reached our objectives for the day. Looking forward to the next event in Killarney next month. But all good.
All this GR Cup action was proudly brought to you by Toyota Gazoo Racing.